Hi guys, I'm Matt from Evolve Fitness, and today I'm going to show you the difference between strength building and muscle building. Right, one of the main differences between the two is when you're trying to build strength, you're going for a mechanical advantage, which means your body will recruit as much muscles and leverage from your bone system to get as much output of power. So for example, I've seen before an example of opening a door. If you were to open a door that's relatively light, you can use majority just your bicep, right? You can use your bicep, part of your back. You just, nice light door. So that door becomes heavy. Your body will then root your legs into the ground, drive with more muscles recruited from your back. You might put your arm up on the wall so you got some leverage. And this becomes strength, okay? But if you forced your body in a position where you locked and you use majority your bicep again, you're putting a mechanical disadvantage on the muscle you're trying to hit. That's the main difference. When you're trying to build muscle, you're putting a mechanical disadvantage on the select muscles. If you're trying to gain strength, then you put a mechanical advantage on your body. It's how all the muscles work together. How you train these for these specific types are completely different, even though they're the same movements. So when you're trying to build for strength, the most important part is the concentric part of the contraction, which is the shortening of the muscle. Okay, so say this band was a muscle. If you lift something up, the muscle shortens. So as you fire off in your muscles, bang, this happens, right? The muscle shortens and the limbs come together, okay? Now, in power building or strength building, this is the most important, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to work the nervous system to recruit as many receptors as we can to get a good contraction in here to get a hard power output, right? Now, if you're trying to do muscle building, you're actually trying to damage the muscle to cause damage and repair. You put a stress on the body and your body has a stress response, so it then builds back thicker and bigger, and then you stress it again, thicker and bigger, build and repeat, and you keep building the muscle, right? So the most important part of strength is this. The most important building is this, under tension, right? So as you drive in, there's minimal damage to the muscle. As you lower under tension is where the damage happens. The little rips happen into the muscle fiber, okay? So this is where tempo becomes super important. That when you're trying to build strength, a big explosive tempo out is great, but you don't necessarily want to worry too much about the lowering, because this is damage, 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 damage. So say if you're in a sport where you want to be as strong as possible, but you want to stay relatively light, you want to keep away from the eccentric part of the movement, which is the lengthening of the muscle under tension. But if you're trying to build muscle, now you're trying to focus on the lengthening of the muscle under tension, okay? So for example, bench press. I want to get powerful bench press, big powerful movement out. Don't even have to worry too much about this. In fact, a lot of top teams now are actually getting lowered down by team members so they can just explode out. So they don't get sore, don't build as much muscle, so they can train more often to get more frequency, and they can build more power because they're not so sore. They can train obviously more often. When you're doing, say, muscle building, you've got the same bench press, you'd go slowly down to rip as much fiber as possible, and now ironically this part doesn't matter so much. So you're focusing on a tempo of 4010 seems to be the best for building muscle. So 4 seconds down, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. 4, 3, 2, 1, up. You see, now we're focusing on the ripping of the muscle rather than the power output, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is creating the mechanical disadvantage. Let's keep bench again. So if you're trying to use as much muscle fiber as possible and as much muscle groups to get the biggest power output, you see powerlifters drive their shoulders down and back to use more sternal fibers, and they drive hard, right? But a bodybuilder, you might see someone that's not necessarily lifting as much as you thought they would. It's because everyone gets these mixed up. When you're trying to build muscle, the weight isn't the most important thing. The intensity in the muscle and the time of attention is. So if you get the same bench press, but you go nice and wide, and you now push the bar in. As you push it in, you use the agonist and antagonist of the arms I've spoken about in a different video. Now, when my bicep flexes, my tricep has to relax so that it can close. As my tricep flexes, my bicep has to relax so it can open, okay? You're taking advantage of this. You push the bar in, it activates the biceps, which disactivates an element of the triceps, which means more of the weight load is now, the mechanical disadvantage is on the chest. So as you push in and slowly go down, the weight load shifts in, the amount of weight you can lift drops down, but what's the result? You want to rip the muscle fiber in the chest. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Sienna as a model for some of these movements, so I can show you the difference between strength and muscle building. Okay, so I'm going to use my beautiful fiancée Sienna to show the difference of a mechanical advantage and disadvantage when it comes to low cable row. Okay, so we haven't rehearsed this, and I've purposely done it so I can kind of take advantage of being a little bit in the dark on it. Okay, so we'll change that weight for you. Maybe we'll keep it nice and light, so that you know. Okay. So all we're going to do is, if you just pick it up and go straight into a row. So what I want you to do is that a relatively easy row? No. Yeah? Okay, go straight on. And pull back. Okay, now bring slightly straight on and bring back down. And just put it down. Okay, bear with me. Keep your back straight, pick it back up. I'm only doing this because I know that she knows how to protect her back, okay? Pick it up. Now I want you to try and row that to your chest. Just try. Now try like your life depends on it. You have to do it. There. See that? Automatically. That's alright, try one more time. Now I never suggest this. That's alright, you can put it down now. But I've just done that to prove a point. Do you notice as soon as it went heavy, and I said pull it like your life depended on it, the first thing she did was pull her body back to get leverage. Her body knows that she can get more leverage there and more recruitment of different muscles by hitting that angle, okay? So that's a great example of strength. Ultimately, her body goes to what is the most powerful that can give the most amount of power output. So try that again, I've got a little bit lower. Now pick it up. And row it like your life depends on it. That's it, bring it down, and again, like your life depends on it. Boom, there we go, so this movement, okay? This is strength building, okay? Obviously there's different ways of doing it, but it's about bringing power into explosive movements. You see a lot of this in powerlifting, Olympic lifting. It's about efficiency of movement, okay? Now let's go to hypertrophy. Now we're going to build muscle. When you drop the weight, right down, okay? Didn't go here. Okay, now pick it up again. Okay, now, keeping your back straight, start with, so you're going to keep it there. Start with your arms straight. Okay? Now, from here, she's going to force her body to stay in this position. Because in this movement, what we want to do is we actually want to hit around the back of the scapula here. We don't want to hit the biceps as much. The biceps are going to come in, but a lot of people, if you just row it back normally, here, they're closing this angle here. Closing at this angle is hit a lot of biceps. But if you lengthen again, let's move your hair like that. We want to work on the back of here. So all we care about is the incisions just underneath the armpit to the back of the scapula here. We want to shorten this space here. Okay, I'll actually pick the camera up. Pull your shoulder blades back, and as you drive back, all we care about is from here to here, this space shortening. So lengthen again. That's it. Now shorten by putting your shoulder blades together. That's it, even more. See, we start to pull in from here, okay? Lengthen and shorten the shoulder blades together. There. This is how we recruit from here. So lengthen from the shoulder blades and pull in together. Good. This, you see it's starting to work around here. Now go back to how you were doing it. And just row it in. Minimum contraction here, okay? Don't even go back to how you were. Just pull it back just with your biceps. No, you're pulling back with your shoulder blades. That's it. Just pull it back as if you don't know how, I haven't told you how to row. Just there. You see the difference? Now we're contracting a lot more from here, a lot less activation there. Now try and close this gap here. There, we get the activation back here. So all we've done is we put the mechanical disadvantage on these muscle groups now, as opposed to rowing back through. So another example here can be with lat pull downs. Now how often do you see this in the gym? Someone comes in, puts the weight right at the bottom, struggles to get himself under, and then does this. And they start rowing back and forth, and then they'll tell you that they're doing it to build muscle. Okay, this is recruiting a mechanical advantage massively, seeing as your back of your head nearly touches the bloody floor. Okay, by doing this, you'll hit so many different muscle groups. You're not really isolating anything, but more importantly than that, there's hardly any eccentric part of the movement. There's no lengthening under tension. I'm literally grabbing as much weight as I can, levering, and then pulling back, letting it fall right back to where it was. Now if I lighten it right off, okay, and not only get under it, go down slowly and have the slow movement back up, but now while doing this, if I pull the bar apart the whole time, I'm trying to snap the bar away as if it would lengthen, I would lengthen the bar. By doing that, I start to activate the triceps, which will then disengage an element of the bicep, which put more of the weight load on my lats, okay? Which makes it a lot tougher, so it should look more like this. Get underneath, right underneath, shoulder blades down and back, pull the bar apart. Slowly down, squeeze, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, I'm not pausing at any point, but I'm focusing on the lengthening, and yet I'm letting my muscles lengthen the entire way. That is doing a lot more damage to the muscle and a lot less damage to the nervous system, which means we can train more often and we actually hit the result that we're after. Okay guys, that's a quick bridge version of the difference between strength building and muscle building.
So make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. We've just released a new channel, so make sure to click subscribe on our YouTube channel to receive all the latest videos and updates.
Cool, take it easy guys.
Take it easy, bye.
Go! Go! Y'all. Go!